But when you're working hard for something that you want, I wanted to see those doors open because somebody told me I couldn't.
Right.
So I will paint, I will, show up, I will put together equipment until midnight, blood, sweat, tears, literally, I'll do it. And it just felt worth every second of that. Okay. And then when I was doing it, I love to learn. I'm not somebody who ever wants to be done, so learning how to market, learning, okay, what software do gyms use to check people in? Like, how do they keep track of their memberships? How do I get more people to know about this little location? And then, of course, the actual human interaction, which that's always come natural to me. I love people. Right. Relationships are everything, and I didn't realize that was a key element of success in business until way later. I just liked people, all of that was worth it. But there was a point about 12 months in where the burnout creeps in. It's physically, I'm here from 4 a.m. to almost 10 p.m. Yeah. And then there's the drive home. I was a single mom at the time with a 5-year-old.
Oh my goodness.
So there was that
God
whole, and it happened right then too. So it was new. It wasn't even like I'd always been a single parent. There was this learning to parent my child by myself. And she's still young enough that's not, there's not a lot of, she wasn't really self-sustaining at 5, right?
You're right.
So there was a lot of transition happening in my life. I had given up my house at that point to my ex-husband, so I was a little bit of a nomad, and so there was just a lot going on. And for a while it was okay, and I think the adrenaline keeps you going. And then,
but that eventually wears out.
Oh, eventually, yeah, and lack of sleep and stress. And the business, I think, kept me going. I think that period of my life would have been exponentially harder if I didn't have that to focus on.
Let's talk about that, because I want to unpack it a little bit. There are a lot of audience members who may be just thinking about getting started in business. So similar to where you were, going through a transition. Looking back on that time, what would you say was the most impactful thing for that business to be sustained? Like, what was it that got it open and got it going? Like, what skill set should someone be trying to hone in on, figure out, to develop within themselves?
Yeah. I think, I don't know, it's not really a skill set, but I would say passion. You've got to want it. Okay. You've got to have that hunger, because if it's just an idea and, somebody else is footing the bill and there's not really any risk involved and it's just sort of like a hobby, even if it's successful, I don't think it's quite the same. You've got to want it. And if you really want it, you've got to be willing to go all in on it. You've got to take the risk that it's not going to work. And not every business is this hard to open. So the one I have currently was not like this at all. So I by no means want to scare anybody from doing it. This was a brick and mortar with equipment, and it needed a lot of startup funding. Not all businesses are like that.